Hi, sorry for the late video. I've been really busy with school and now I'm finally on my break. Also, if it isn't evident in my voice, I'm sick. Trust me, when I first tried to record this, it was much worse. I could not get through a single second without coughing. Mitski Miyawaki, otherwise known by her stage name Mitski, is an iconic artist, most known for her songs My Love, Mine, All Mine, Nobody, and Washing Machine Heart. But she is so much more than just a TikTok trend or an indie sensation. Mitski is a Japanese-American singer-songwriter who somehow managed to gain a huge fan base from one song, like Taylor Swift on a smaller scale. I made this video essay to analyze the lyrics in her songs, the themes of her music and her albums, and also to ask why. Why do people like Mitski, and why should she be more mainstream? Mitski debuted with her self-released album Lush in 2012 as her junior year project for college, Purchase College, with the major of studio composition. The first song on the album was Liquid Smooth, and coincidentally, the most popular. A song that was first written, however, was Bag of Bones, which was, apparently, the first song Mitski ever wrote, which is very impressive in its own right. The music matches up so perfectly with the lyrics, and the theme suits the notes played. Lush's theme, as evidenced by its song lyrics, is feminine beauty. Feminine beauty is standards and the burden of being a woman. Some songs are really overt about it, like Real Men and Eric on toxic masculinity, Eric, Wife, Brand New City, Liquid Smooth, and Bag of Bones on the objectification of women and the shallow value of their beauty and ability to create life considered above the actual person themselves. Some songs are less about it, like Pearl Diver and Abby. These two songs can actually be interpreted in many more ways not related to the theme of the album itself, like Searching for Happiness and Metaphorical Light and even Eating Disorder, which just shows the flexibility of Mitski as an artist, but in the context of the album, they mean things. Pearl Diver is generally about losing one's happiness and searching for happiness, metaphorically referred to as beauty and pearls, and valuing nothing else but wanting to be fixed and pulled out of despair. But perhaps it is that, to Mitski, in this song, happiness and beauty are comorbid. Here are a few lyrics from this song which summarize my point. Oh, hunter, if you didn't want the beautiful so badly, perhaps you would have found it in your spirit singing softly. Basically, Mitski is saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Mitski is referring to herself, the Pearl Diver, in the third person. She's looking for happiness in what the standards call beauty and material objects rather than in herself and finding contentment with herself. She's metaphorically diving for pearls to try and use objects of monetary value, like makeup and jewelry, to feel prettier, more beautiful, instead of trying to enhance the natural beauty inside of her. The happiness she could have been feeling and the beauty in her spirit was discarded and abandoned with this obsession with diving to feel extraordinary. Abby, to complement it, is about being born feeling empty, hungry, and trying to do anything to feel something. I think Mitski is referring to beauty. She's hungry for beauty and was born not fitting into the conventional beauty standards. Tying into the context of Pearl Diver, I am hungry. I have been hungry. I was born hungry. What do I need? The final chorus really solidifies the song. It implies that Mitski dreams of fulfilling this void within her, of feeling free of her strife. There is a light, I feel it in me, but only it seems when the dark surrounds me. There is a dream, and it sleeps in me, keeps me awake in the night, crying, set me free. And I wake every night, crying, set me free. There's also this metaphorical light, this happiness, perhaps beauty, that's mentioned in the song. Mitski says she can only feel it when there's darkness in her, probably saying that she cannot unsee the ideals of beauty unless she points out her own imperfections. This also alludes to feeling empty and numb inside and not seeing a difference between emotions unless they're felt really strongly. Generally, in my humble opinion, all of Mitski's songs are masterpieces, both lyrically and musically. I feel like the reason My Love, Mine, All Mine got its popularity because of its clever lyrics and catchiness. Also, unlike most Mitski songs, this song doesn't really have a clear theme or topic. It's easily relatable, and although Mitski's distinct style is still present throughout, it's got a poppy but sad vibe. Like Right Where You Left Me by Taylor Swift. It's got a great hook, and the quarter notes and the snare drum and piano in the background are both perfectly distracting and ear catching. On the Mitski subreddit, someone posted a question asking why people like Mitski. They described her in a myriad of ways. Some people thought her music was catchy, that her lyrics were good, but the most popular answer that people gave was some variety of emotional rawness, viscerality. Everything from her choice of instruments and chord progressions to the order of song parts for each song matters and gives her a unique vibe. Mitski's songs are like poetry. They rhyme well, they sound pretty, but unlike most popular songs or poems, their meanings transcend cultures, continents, class, gender identity, sexual orientation, and can be interpreted in so many different ways. In any a proper interpretation of her song, though, they'll always manage to reach right into your heart, stab it, and then patch it back together. I'm not sure who said this, so I apologize for not crediting you if you're watching. But when I was looking at the Mitski comment section, someone said something along the lines of, "Every time I listen to Mitski, it feels like I'm discovering something new." And honestly, that's so true. Mitski gives you a strange sense of nostalgia with the way she writes her lyrics and the way she composes and even plays her music. But each song has its genius gimmicks and motifs, like the morning alarmist sound music and Two Slow Dancers, representing how for both school and work, people have to wake up early, correlating with the theme of youth and sameness and nostalgia that the song represents. Or the radio effect on Mitski's voice in Happy, coupled with the fast eighth and 16 notes on the snare drum and the repetitive tenor or drum eighth notes, representing the repetitiveness of the labor that women are subject to in the kind of heteronormative conservative relationships portrayed in the song, as shown by the lyrics. I locked the door behind him and I turned around to see all the cookie wrappers and the empty cups of tea. Well, I sighed and mumbled to myself again, I have to clean. The bright, almost aggressive notes on the saxophone represent how in the song, Mitski is forcing herself to feel content with her relationship and happy. If she wasn't happy with him, after all her labor would be for nothing. There are also lyrics that show this. So he laid me down, and I felt happy come inside of me. He laid me down, and I felt happy. And when you go, take this heart. I'll make no more use of it when there's no more you. So that pretty much concludes my point. Mitski's music is beautiful and should be more mainstream because of the emotional rawness of it. As this one person on Reddit described, Mitski is an ever-evolving musical chameleon who wears her tortured heart on the sleeve of her blood-splattered white button-down. The reason this one song, My Love, Mine, All Mine, though, got mainstream, I think, was because of not only its vagueness and subsequent and relatability, and catchy hook and vocals, was because the emotional rawness was filtered, diluted, watered down. You can still feel it, but the charm of Mitski is that she's indie. She's all about a new gimmick for each song, and yet you can tell when something is distinctly Mitski, whether it be by her voice, lyrics, or music. My Love, Mine, All Mine is good. It's clever and resonates with many people. Love is the most priceless thing in the world. But rather than ripping your heart out and patching it back together, it feels like a dreary blur, like it's distantly trying to touch your heart and just reaffirming what you know. It might be a hot take, and of course, this is just my personal opinion, but it's not that just that one song or a few more that should be popular. Mitski is really great, and I feel like it's only natural to appreciate her musical genius by listening to her more. I feel like a grandma saying this, but back in my day, we didn't hear Mitski in the grocery store or at the mall or the school gymnasium. So appreciate her. Mitski's music is a rare kind of poetry, where syllable count or rhyme schemes don't reign over meaning. Also, just for the record, I'm following fair use. Mitski's lyrics, songs, and albums are obviously not mine, and this was an analysis and not a derivative.